Have I been sleeping on honey-finished bourbons this whole time? Something I've recently been getting into, and holy cow, it opens up my eyes to a whole new world of bourbon. How are y'all doing today? My name's Chris. Welcome back to Bourbon Sane. We got a brand new one coming out of Green River Distilling, and let me tell you what, the packaging on this, at least for their media samples, something I've never seen before in my entire life. We got to open this up and go into it. Let me show you. Well, spoiler alert, I've already had a couple sips. Oh gosh, look at me. I guess there's not going to be an even way. That's alright. Look at this. Sorry for the light in there, guys. They're honey bourbon, and it actually comes with an actual side of honey here too, along with the description. So, first of all, the packaging on this probably adds about $30 to the price if you were to get this bottle in this packaging. So we're not going to do that. But I just wanted to compliment Green River on this. This is exceptional. Probably the best packaging I've ever seen on a bourbon before. So, as you can see, I've already dipped into this a little bit. I took a sip of this, or one glass of this, and it immediately made me just keep wanting to pour more. So that's a little spoiler as to what's coming up, but as mentioned, Green River Honey. This is something new to me, at least in the last 5 years, 3, 4, 5 years probably. I don't ever remember honey-finished bourbons, honey-finished whiskeys really being a thing ever for us. Maybe it was, and I just wasn't on board and on the game yet, but most recently I had the Blue Note Honey. This is along with the Evernorth honey-finished barrel as well I had. So a couple different honeys I've had, and I'll tell you what, the absolute level of sweetness that gets added when you do the honey infusing or the honey incorporated, it is really something special. So let's talk about the Green River Honey specifically. This is 46%, so 92 proof, and I gotta say, very respectable. A lot of things these days, especially at this price point, $25, crazy. They don't up the proof. And for me, I'm a proof guy, I want to have proof. I love proof, so I always appreciate it when companies do that. What they do with this whiskey is they take the Green River 4-year and they actually incorporate, so not a barrel-finished honey, like a former honey barrel finished whiskey, they actually add honey directly into it. So locally sourced honey, natural, none of that sugary crap. Like it's actually honey incorporated into the barrel and then aged even longer. So very interesting, a little bit different than how some other companies would do their, honey barrel finishing whiskey. So curious to see if that changes the notes or the flavors that you would get on it. So looking at color, what do you know? It's a very honey colored whiskey. Good viscosity though, good viscosity. Gotta appreciate it. It looks delicious. It looks appetizing, and I can't wait to go back into it. So let's go to nose here. Oh, man. So actually has more punch than what a 92 proof bourbon typically would. The difference in this is it does smell like a finished whiskey. And when I say that, I mean it's just got an extra layer like floralness, like wildflower. It's still bourbon heavy, but there's an extra richness and extra sweetness that comes through on the nose. Sometimes, I kind of get a similar, almost like a wheated profile, where it's got an extra layer of like that creaminess, that extreme sweetness. I think the incorporation of the honey into this whiskey does make it just much sweeter, much sweeter in general. Good nose. It actually has a decent amount of spice on the mid nose too. It's almost like a rye spice, and for Green River's, mash bill, they almost always give me a spearmint note. And I certainly can find that in this whiskey. It's almost like a spearmint gum type note, which I guess I describe as rye, but it's just extremely sweet. It's almost like a candied rye, in this one. That's why. It's really nice nose. So let's go into palate here. So I didn't get this bottle too long ago. It's half gone. That's crazy. But First time I drank through, it was a little bit sharp. Like I didn't have a... It was a little bit youthful, it tasted, you know what I mean? The sweetness kind of masked that and covered it up from the honey. This now, though, I'm getting no alcohol burn at all. So even just a couple days to open up in this bottle has helped. No astringency for being a 4-year bourbon. And just a lot of sweetness, man. Some of you guys will probably know better than me which taste buds are which. But front of the palate, I get that extreme sweetness. Honey sweetness. It's like a bit of honey candy where it's got a little bit of that caramel, honey, creaminess, sweetness. And that's hitting the front. I still get that rye mid-palate or spearmint mid-palate I described, but surprisingly, a very nice mouth-coating whiskey for being still relatively low proof, if we're being honest. And not super old, 92 proof, but surprisingly a long finish, or medium to long finish. So no complaints. Let's go one more sip here. I don't know if it's the honey that just masks flaws with this whiskey. There's nothing bad about this at all. Like, I can't think of a single negative about this at all. I mean, sure, I guess honey finishing can be considered a little bit gimmicky, if you're a bourbon purist, a bourbon enthusiast. But I'll tell you what, lately for me, I mean, this has been a new type of finishing that I never really had thought about before. I think about our sherry finishing, our different wine finishes, all that double oaking. But I never really thought about honey finished or honey incorporated bourbons and whiskeys before. But, man, it's really good. You think about something like a Jack Daniel's honey or a Jim Beam honey or whatever it is. And those are just like liqueurs. You know what I mean? It's just like honey liquors. The beautiful thing about this bottle is that it truly still wants the bourbon to be the star. It doesn't want to just make it a flavored whiskey that you just mix in cocktails and it's just going to be mostly for, chugging the whole bottle. You know what I mean? Like less than that. They up the proof, so it still reaches us bourbon enthusiasts and bourbon purists. And they do want bourbon to be the star in this expression, which I definitely can appreciate and I definitely respect. For me, $25. I haven't seen it yet locally pop up, but I'll tell you what, this will be one I'll always keep on my shelf at $25. This is going to be a great intro for anyone new into whiskey as well. All right, I appreciate everyone watching this review today. Thank you so much. Let me know if you guys have had this Green River honey yet. It's just hitting markets now. Or if not, you're going to be picking up. I mean, $25, it's worth the gamble all day for that. So, no question. What is your favorite Green River expression? Have you had multiples? My new favorite from them is that Green River Wheated Full Proof. One of the best full proofs at that price point, honestly, especially for a wheated expression. So, can't go wrong at all, but love what Green River's been doing lately, and I hope they're going to keep it up with everything that they've been on lately. So, appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much for being here. Stay insane.